Two, who's in the studio right here, the legendary, dropped 2 songs, doing pretty much fine on radio, getting amazing feedback. Then we decided to have a conversation with him. I remember the last time we had an interview. Which year was that? Do you still remember?
Maybe,
was it
maybe 2 years ago?
Was it 2 years ago?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I still remember like we had a radio interview somewhere in between. I don't know what we were talking about.
The interview was sometime last year.
Last year.
No, the TV, that's a lot of years.
Yeah. Can even
that's
be
a lot of years.
3 years, 4 years.
You were smaller then.
But how do I look now?
You're a bit chubby, like more grown now.
Why is everybody calling me chubby? Is it like a bad thing?
I mean, I'm a chubby person myself, so it depends on how you take it.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Done.
Welcome on the show.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Thank you. I'm good.
Yeah, how's everything going?
No complaints whatsoever. I'm good.
How's the gospel going?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Maybe give us a few information about the gospel. The viewers are watching right now. I've been seeing, I call him a boy, by the name Cuthbert, who's still asking about your old songs.
Yeah.
I was asking him about if he knows about the new songs. But maybe give us a highlight of this year on your side. 2 good songs are out and they're doing well on radio stations.
Yeah. I'll talk about Sela first. Well, my pronunciation could be off. I'm not good with Bemba, but it's actually a Bemba
It's
word.
Sela.
As in, come closer, move closer.
But it's Sela.
Yeah. You know, the message in that track is basically a situation where PMC and, let's say, Jane is here. And you know that you like each other. And everything about the two of you seems to be right. Like, you know, even around people, I'm basically dissecting the lyrics as well. Even around people, you have your secret language that she could say something or do something, only you will understand because you are that close. But the problem comes in where she's a bit worried that maybe she will experience a heartbreak if she's to commit into a relationship. Basically because of whatever she's seen happen to many people, the stories that she's heard about, some things from personal experiences, some things that you even shared. So you're just convincing her to say, you know what, rather than trying to pull away, come close, because you know at the end of the day that your heart also wants to be with me. So let's make this move, you know, let's put our faith in God, let's submit this relationship and get the proper guidance, of which obviously then an elderly person that you trust, more especially somebody from the church, will guide you on how you're going to move on the journey, and then that's it. One thing to the next. Obviously, wedding bells. Then there's Still. Still is a very slow track. I think it's a very deep song, in fact, because that's like a man telling, could be a woman telling the partner as well, like, you know, just bringing out that emotional side, words that people rarely speak of. And, you know, she is just saying, tomorrow is not really promised, but my words and me expressing how I feel about you will last. Should anything happen to me, these words will still be there. You can still listen to this song and you still know how I feel because I'm saying it. You know, like, it's something talking about a spiritual connection to the partner, and just saying whatever happens, I'll still want you. It's you that I'll still want to, you know, to get close to, and yeah, that type of vibe.
Nice. So both songs are out for streaming?
Both songs are out, yes. I deliberately put Sela on Boomplay, because people like Boomplay. I don't know why they really fancy Boomplay.
From how you're saying,
it's okay.
It seems like you don't like Boomplay.
No, I mean, it's okay. Let me not say much that will get me into trouble, problems. But it's fine. It's fine anyways. And Still is on Spotify and all other platforms as well. So Sela is just on Boomplay. I deliberately did that also because there's a certain thing that I've been working on that I want, the moment that The whole project, in fact, will be available on all platforms for streaming. Then they can have access to everything else. But I deliberately put it on Boomplay because it looks like most of the people like going on to Boomplay to get whatever it is that is local. And also the vibe on it also is kind of different to my usual sound. So I deliberately did that to say, okay, whatever it is that people are dancing to, and let me put me into this vibe. So yeah, feedback has been good though.
I've always wanted to find out something from you. You've been in the industry for a while. For a while.
Okay,
and there's a saying that says doing the same thing over and over again, you find that some people find it, I don't know the word that I want to use, but few people will do the same thing for the rest of their life. And you've been doing music for a while. I want to find out, like, what has kept you going for so many years?
Look, there's a time that I took a break, a deliberate break. I had to do some things away from radio, TV, cameras and stuff, just personal things. And it haunts you because at the end of the day, my understanding is this: you're given this gift, not for yourself. There's a message you need to carry. So with that message, if you decide to shut it down, that's like you're getting yourself in trouble, because the one I gave you the gift will ask you a question. I gave you this so you can reach more people, because with this gift comes a big platform. A big platform meaning all those numbers that you see, it might just look like something thousand or whatever million, but the fact is, that's all souls looking at you. So with that gift, you carry a message that you need to communicate to everybody that's close to you, that's liking what you put out there. So, being in the industry for a long time, having done something for a long time, and not letting go of it. I mean, there's passion at the end of the day because you like your gift and you understand. The big thing will come down to understanding why you have that gift. And when you appreciate that, you don't even feel like you do something over and over and you're like, wow, just now it's been like all these years and I'm still doing this. You don't even feel it, because the core purpose is the message that you need to give to somebody out there. Yeah, because once you get feedback from a lot of people that will talk about certain situations that they experience, things that they fail to find an opening to actually let out those emotions, just one song, somebody just lets loose. Some people will cry, some people, it'll just do something. They'll just feel like, okay, something has been lifted after listening to a certain message in the song. That's why a lot of times, I don't know if most of the artists actually experience this thing, but fact is, every time you put out a song, there's messages out there that you won't really understand yourself, but you're driven into a certain line to say something. Obviously, I'm just talking about something that's positive and biblically correct, nothing funky, And you just put out that song. You find that one person needed to hear that message, because understand how the Bible sees people, just like prayers as well. Avoid making selfish prayers, because God looks at you and sees everybody else behind you. Even when he talks about babies in the Bible, it talks about nations, not the child only. It talks about everything linked to that child. So remember, that one person, if they did not get that message, it affects a whole generation of everybody else that was supposed to come after them. So you find that you're carrying that message. Once you put it out, you don't resist putting out, no, this is not really me, no. Think about it, pray about it. Put out the message. Somebody needs to hear it, because there's somebody out there that's going to come even generations later who's supposed to do something that is in God's will. So you don't really jump off certain things, So being in the industry for a long time, you got to understand purpose. Yeah.
I don't know if you've been asked this question. Are you okay being called a gospel artist officially?
I've never been really okay with it, because I feel like then I'm kind of boxed in. It's good at the same time, because then I'm identified as a believer in Jesus Christ, and I boldly say it without any problem wherever I am and whoever I talk to, But at the same time, it's like people always say, you're supposed to be in this corner. You can't go this side. You can't do this. You can't. I don't like that. But if for definition's sake, for argument's sake, okay, let's call me that, because maybe you want to understand something.
What do you think can be the right way to address you?
Well, I'm just a minister of the gospel through music. That's it. If you just go like gospel artist and you're putting me in a corner, And you're basically telling me that I can't get to do certain things that I feel I need to approach some things from a certain angle because you have given me that title. So I prefer to just be seen as an artist who's carrying the message, because the message that comes with purpose.
Speaking about you can't do certain things, I also want to find out something. Before the ministry that you're doing, the gospel music, I also want to find out, do you find it an offensive way when someone approaches the Ty2 that they have known for a while, saying, I want Ty2 to come and perform for my event, for example, at a nightclub? They want you, they're booking you for a show.
So here's the situation. Somebody might argue out there, but it's how I see it. How I see it and how I feel certain things should be done. I have been invited at certain clubs before to go and perform. I've been there with Hamova, and this is my process. I'll sit down and think, okay, most of the eyes and ears have heard me speak and preach about Jesus. And they'll question themselves and say, why is he going to such and such a place? Because he says he's preaching. But at the end of the day, why are you limiting me to say, I just need to stand in front of people that are born again and talk about somebody they already know about? So it's a challenge for me, because I've been told to go into the world. Where is the world? I know you're asking me the questions, but just for conversation's sake, where is the world?
The same night.
Jesus said, go into the world. Some people say, well, why aren't you just going into Cairo Road then? Why do you have to go into the club? Look, there's a job that I have to do. I'm also an entertainer. And with what I do, for as long as I don't compromise my standing with God, my faith with God, I still work. And before I go into that place, I think people that have attended certain shows will actually give me the stare, because beginning of the set, we'll start with worshiping. And
in a nightclub?
Yes.
Okay.
I've done testimony before, and the slow version of testimony, I'll boldly stand there. For example, look at what's written on my t-shirt, and I go in there. Already you that's partying, you feel I'm judging you. No, I've just brought a message to you silently. Because even when I walked in here, I'm sure you saw this.
Yeah.
What did it say to you? You were just like, oh, I'm a gospel artist. But it said something to you. It gave you an acknowledgement of who I'm talking about. You get me? So when I get into that place, I'll definitely pray about it. Now, whatever I'm going to do, may people understand who you are. May they hear this message. That regardless of me singing Ikukonde or Smile or Walinsulile, that were to do with what we feel in the flesh and all that stuff, like couples and all that business. But this should be the core focus, that when I speak about you, whoever is doing whatever it is that they're doing, whatever is inside them, must understand. Because you've been told at the end of the day, by the mention of his name, every knee shall bow. And most of the people understand that every knee should be seeing PMC going down on his knee just there and then. But understand it is something spiritual. Because whatever it is that influences people, whatever it is from the dark world, understands who Jesus is. So if I pray about it and I step into that place and I sing, the moment I mention, they understand who I'm talking about, because I've already reported as boss, I'm going this side. When I speak, may I plant that seed into PMC, who's trying to just dance and whatever. Maybe he's in there because of something that he's facing. But when I speak about you, may he get it. Even when he leaves that place, you understand that this guy came to entertain, and then he started preaching before he went into Smile. There must be a reason to that, because the moment I plant the seed, the Holy Spirit comes in now and starts talking to you. Next thing you're calling me to say, when did I to church? Which church you go to? I'm like, come, let's go. Why? Yeah. Because of what I'd done that time. I know people will never understand this, but I know what my job is. There's a reason why I'm positioned where I'm positioned, because even you where you are, it's not just about the cameras and stuff. It's your duty just here to shine the light if you are born again. I'm not going to go into that, because I want to, maybe you might feel put in a corner and say, are you born again? Is Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior? I wouldn't want to do that, but I could, away from the camera anyways. But the fact is, wherever anybody is, it's your job to shine the light there, to speak about him there. This is where I'm at. There's times I wanted to say, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. But then the question will be, who's attending to people in those places? Who's speaking to them about the boss in those places? And when he asked me, what did you do with the talent I gave you? No one is like overnight. I just sang with the praise team. I just spoke with the... But then you neglected everybody else that was there. You were supposed to go and speak. You get the picture of what I'm trying to say to you. So you find that people will say a lot of things, will judge, will do all these things, but the fact is, I know where I'm at because it's a personal relationship and I know who I got to report to. So if I'm doing something wrong, he will correct me, he will rebuke me, because if I truly worship Jesus Christ, if I truly pray, I will hear and I'll be told, just the discomfort of stepping into certain places, I will know I shouldn't be doing this and I'll move away, because we always pray, correct me, rebuke me when I'm going off, because you're asking the Holy Spirit, guide and lead my steps. So if what I'm doing is just a fleshly thing, and there's no work that I'm doing, he'll definitely let me know there and then. I will know, because I will be told, don't do that. Just like every time you want to do something wrong, you always hear somebody talking to you say, you can't do this. But we ignore.
The only artist that I know who did an album, Ty2, featuring Ty2.
Yeah.
Like, it's super rare. And I until now, up to date, I still wonder, what was he thinking?
The thing is, most of the people out there, I think even now, some of them, when they watch a video like Steel, for example, they'll be like, this voice is different to the Ty2 we know. But they don't realize that I sang the Smile chorus, I sang the Nikukonde chorus. To cut the long story short, most of the choruses of my songs, I do the singing myself. For as long as the song doesn't say featuring whoever, that's me behind the chorus. So on Ty2 featuring Ty2, the whole concept was to show everybody that it's actually me that's been featuring myself this whole time. So why not just call the album Ty2 featuring Ty2? Like, expose the other side of me. Yeah. Due to time, you have to talk to your people. Anything else that you wanted to talk about on the show? Okay, having been in industry for a long time, the biggest thing I want to say also is to, just to say thank you to everybody that's followed my page, who's followed my music, and seen my journey from maybe the jumpy character, some that go close to me, and some who say they can see maturity and I speak different. No, I don't speak different. I just understand my purpose now. So it is important to actually have a relationship with Jesus Christ, my boss. So whatever I do, and the music that I do, I have to check to see what God says about it. If it's something that's going to lead somebody off the path, I will not be a part of it. So whatever message I put out there, be it a love song, be it everything, I basically want to speak to more people, speak to more young people, grown people, and just bring out certain truths that they never really thought about. I know some will send messages on Facebook, we thought you're doing gospel, why in my love song? But come on, am I not supposed to be the person actually preaching the love? And because I'm coming with it from the biblical side of things. Because if it's taken from what we call the other side, what do you think people will be doing? What do you think young people will be doing? There'll be a whole lot of early pregnancies and all this madness going on. So at the end of the day, love your neighbor as you love yourself, but the biggest of all, love your God with all your heart. For as long as you love your neighbor, which is the second greatest commandment, you will not do anything that will cause harm to them. So thank you for supporting this guy, and I hope you love the album that's coming very soon. So enjoy Selah, enjoy Still. Cheers.
Okay, officially announced about the album 2024.
We'll see. Could be right by the before we drop into
the next year.
Could be, we'll see.
Okay.
But it's done.
All right.
It's done.
All right.
Besonne questa ma che non mi fizzo fonse o se con ne solle ma se cuo se ne nalla Nepotane pone sonda bantu monse Nezo sakila chemo mukale konse Kozonde wa ene molongo place ni jose Neposa mut angane polo monse Pameno na nepesa neze watwana na Pameno na nepesa neze wakufala Etase kohane unane kwela mutima Unane kwe Lelo nisekelela na nileko Nase Skonde zako netamene Tumane pasa chimwebele Nate yonse nganeleko Nate Skonde zako netamene Tumane pasa chimwebele Dale motema wako Sekonde zako Tiye tamene Tena ne polomosa Moko yepa kwanka Kwa mene benzo kwan Se benze na manzo Wose benzo ne town Tene benzo ne kamba Bebe onaneza Unanikopa, my darling, nante la voyako, kane pasa temwemwe, la voyako, kane pasa moyo, la voyako, kane nyamu la nati, kame se me sini malila, kane leko, oh, nante, chis, skonde chako ne chamene, chemane pasa temwemwe, pepe yonse kane leko, oh, nante, Konde tapone tamene Semane pasa Kosaka nkala mwezi wina Ya mwaka wina Kosaka kwina Na mesosi zina Tauya kupya ina Ya pepo ina Ya vula ina Nepa iwa wina Nate mwezi wina Na mwaka wina Kosaka kwina Na mesosi zina Tauya kupya ina Ya pepo ina Ya vula ina Nepa iwa wina Kosega niliko Oh, that's it. Jesus. Ponte chako metamene. Semane pasa chimwemene. Pepe yonse nganeleko. Oh, nate nasiya. Ponte chako metamene. Semane pasa chimwemene. Nate pesone foka panse, panso bonse. Pesone nyoza tele, ponte la zonse. Pesone kwesa makelo mo penso bonse. Osekonde sole la maseko. Tena la kwata ne pone sonda panso bonse. Neso sakila chemo mokale konse. Kozonde wa ene molongo place ni chose. Ne pasa muntu angane polo mose. Pameno na ne pesa nese watwana na. Pameno na ne pesa nese wakufala. Etase kuhane unane kwela mutima. Unane kwela lelo nisekelela kaniliko. Chako netamene Chemane pasa chimwebene Pepe yonse nganiliko Oh, nate Skonde chako netamene Chemane pasa chimwebene Now who's paying?
He was paying.